High school start pledge allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we do not have special reports tonight.
Slide away.
Prior to tonight's meeting, the board held an executive session at 5:15 p.m. to discuss confidential and personal litigation. The board also met on 5/18/2025 for an executive session at 7 p.m. to discuss personnel. Information, Dr. Harris.
All right, thank you. Just two quick things of information before we get to our retirements is we won the softball game tonight, their very first round of states, 3-2. And our boys volleyball team, they start their very first round of states tomorrow. So hope they do just as well. So it should be fun. It's nice that our sports teams keep going even after school year has ended. Graduation was a success, even though there was rain and it was cold. We made it outside, which matters most to families, and so everyone can attend who wants to, because it makes for a nice night.
Matt, excuse me, for the graduation, is there a place where you could see the video from the beginning? Because Steve and I joined in, but I want to see the beginning of the graduation. Is that posted online, the whole video?
I know they haven't posted, and they were doing something that you could buy it.
They were selling it for
selling it.
$25.
So
I just want to see the first 5-10 minutes, that's all I missed.
I'm actually buying one for my son this year. So and that actually reminds me that I still haven't paid. So I'll get it in. I'll share some with mine. Don't tell Mr. Vincent, even though he's recording us right now. Thanks,
Is
Steve.
that an outside organization or it's our organization?
It's our people who do it.
And Dr. Harris, thinking also about graduation, I want to compliment our teachers that volunteered to be on the field. I saw people in black robes, and I'm wondering, who are these people? Because they look so young. But they were teachers. I was impressed. But again, for them volunteering, really appreciate that.
We get a nice group of teachers every year that do that, and they wouldn't trade it because they also love it. They want to walk with their kids.
And it showed.
And
Yeah,
that's
there's
just-
all the same people.
It's
here.
very nice.
Yeah.
And two of those people, talking about teachers, are here tonight, and this is probably their last official Penn Trafford meeting that they have to come to.
But they're
And I don't say
welcome.
half, they chose to. And I'm going to announce some of the retirements. We already took the retirements, but the first is Jeff Newsom. If Jeff, you want to go up to the microphone? Because Steve always reminds me no one can ever... And Tiffany, do you have something to say about Jeff?
I do. I'm so excited. I get to say something about you. Jeff decided to become a teacher after taking an education class at WCCC. He earned a bachelor's degree in technology education and a master's degree in multimedia technology from California University of Pennsylvania. After a teaching stint in Virginia, Jeff joined the Penn Trafford High School staff in 1999. Over the years, Jeff witnessed the rapid evolution of technology and its impact on both education and students. His fondest memories are robotics competitions and watching his students compete in the Robotics World Championships. And I have to say, I was at Cleveland Price today, and the majority of my hour and a half was focused on you, and nothing but compliments and everything that you do here at Penn Trafford and how much the students are going to miss you. So thank you so much for all of your dedication to our students here at Penn Trafford.
Thank you.
And Jeff, how many of your students you had are they at Cleveland Price now?
Oh, geez, I have no idea. Quite a few of them have gone on to work there. I think one of them's even an engineer there now, and it's a great company because I've been friends with Carl Heller over there. We've known each other through scouts and so forth, and you know, our boys kind of grew up together between, you know, my youngest playing baseball with his son, and we've got a lot of students. Even my own son, last year during college's summer job, he worked there for the entire summer, and you know, it's a great company for their employees. They really do a good job in what they do and so forth and how they treat them.
What year did you first put your robotics course in?
I want to say it was around, I think it was around 2008 or 2009, I believe. Dr. Coloni, that was here before, I had gone to a presentation at Carnegie Mellon University down on in Lawrenceville, their robotics center, and just out of interest to see, and that's when it was just first starting in this area. And even though Carnegie Mellon has been doing it, I mean, at the high school level and bringing it into the schools. And after I went and saw it, I presented it to Dr. Coloni and so forth, and then it was an easy decision for her. That's when we started the program, and I had a handful of students that were interested at that point, and then it's just gone from there. Those students that started actually made the World Championships. The road to it was a lot more difficult at that time. They just had regional areas, and then after that, since it has grown so much with the VEX Robotics, the whole competition thing, there's over 20,000 teams now around the world. And, you know, so then they had to make it more difficult, and it was, COVID kind of killed a little bit of it because I had 2 teams that went that year, and a lot of them were seniors, and they missed out on it. And in 2021, we actually did it virtually, and then every year until this year, and this year I had a young group of kids who are probably going to do really well next year. So it started back then.
And I do thank you for doing that and growing that program and for everything else you did in the building. I know you took care of all the signs around the building and different things that were way above your job description, and we always appreciated. You coached golf, and what other sports did you ever coach? Did you just golf?
I coached the girls. I was the first coach of the girls golf team when they first started it, and then I coached the boys assistant, and then the others as well. But I've coached everything from girls softball to baseball when I was in Virginia, even wrestling. So it's been a lot of different things. I've always it's funny how it grows into you. You know, it becomes part of you no matter where you are. Once you get involved in kids, and you know, you just want to share what you've learned and how much you learn from them as well.
Well, we were very lucky to have you. Sorry to see you go, but now that you have all the time in the world, we're giving you a clock. You're taking the clock. And obviously we have a cake, and I already say have most of it tonight. Freeze a piece or 2 for the very first day of school. Get it out of the freezer and eat it, and make fun of the rest of us. But we thank you very
Hey
much.
Jeff,
Yes.
it sounds like you're a very accomplished person. Where did you get your high school education from?
I went to school here.
And what year was that you graduated?
Same year you did.
Congratulations.
And I'm really fortunate too. My boys went through here, and I don't brag a lot about my own kids, but my oldest son just graduated from Penn State with a degree in mechanical engineering. He already has a job, and you know, and my other son is at St. Vincent for accounting and finance, and you know, both of them. I even sent an email before on the last day I was here thanking everybody because of all the positive influence the teachers had on our kids, and very thankful for, you know, what they've done. And I know you guys have a thankless job, but we appreciate everything. So
Enjoy.
Thank you so much, and
thank you.
you're always welcome to stop.
Yes. Nancy was inspired early on by her parents, both of whom were educators. Following in their footsteps, she earned her teaching degree from Central Michigan University and began her journey in the classroom in 1977. She taught in Michigan and Ohio before moving to Pennsylvania, where she taught at Geibel High School in Connellsville. After stepping away from teaching for 25 years, she returned to the classroom in 2010 as an English language art teacher at Penn Trafford High School. Nancy often reflected on how much she had missed teaching during her time away and how fulfilling it was to return to the classroom. Thank you for everything that you've done here at Penn Trafford.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So what are you going to miss the most?
The kids. My speech and debate classes were the best. So many things I learned from them, and it was just such a nice atmosphere. And I still have kids. Before COVID, I would always teach a handshake and how important a handshake was. And every time a student would come into the room, I'd make them shake our hand. I said, no, that's a wet noodle, come back, start over again. And they got very good at it. And I still have kids, if I see them out in public that graduated years ago, they would come up to me and shake my hand and thank me for that. Just a simple gesture, but speaks volumes when that first initial contact. Sort of got away from that with COVID, but just so many things that those classes taught me, and how comfortable they were to share so many stories that they had and experiences that they had in life, and felt comfortable doing that. So I think that's what I'm going to miss the most. I love teaching English as well, and this year was probably my best year yet. Just the kids were great, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and I'm going to miss them the most.
In addition to teaching, you coach some sports?
I did, when I first started in Michigan, I coached softball and basketball, and Patty Arzeni and I coached volleyball for a year here too. So again, different things, and learning different things from the kids is always an inspiration to me. And my kids went here too, and are both very successful, and I'm thankful for that as well. And it's a great place to teach.
Coming here, or are they Norn?
They're Norwin. They looked for a long time for a house here when they were looking and could not find anything. So they're in Norwin. But they tell me often that they wish they had found something in Penn Trafford. So.
And I know Jeff was obviously he was from Michigan. What was your dad's job growing up?
He was a superintendent.
He was
and,
a superintendent.
yes.
He was a doctor.
And I know all those little things that we used to get the phone calls in the morning before. This was back in the 70s when, is there school today? You'll have to let my dad would always, he wouldn't answer the phone. The kids had to answer the phone. And we had this little script that we would have to say. You will have to listen to the radio, and if the school is canceled, it will be canceled. And then many times I was very influential in canceling school because I had a test or something, so I would say, yeah, please, please, please. So there were some pluses and minuses of that. My mom was an English teacher as well, and guidance counselor before she retired. And my brother's was an athletic director, so had it all the way around.
I wanted to comment too how proud I am talking about you, because a lot of people say, why don't they teach soft skills in school? And I said, we have a teacher that does that. She teaches eye contact, firm handshake. You taught all those things. My kids, grandkids passed that along to me, and I want to thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and it's, especially now since COVID, it's so important just to communicate. Mm-hmm. I would have kids in speech and debate especially, each of them would, they call it speed dating, where they would have to talk to everyone in the class for 3 minutes. I'd time them. And at first, it's like dead silence. Nobody wants to say anything to anybody because they don't know how to carry on a conversation without texting somebody. But then as time went on, they got really good at it, and the volume would increase. And I'd have to say, okay, we're done. We have to, say thank you, nice meeting you, move on. So it was good. It was just and I wish you had time in other classes to develop that rapport that our speech and debate classes have, but it doesn't allow the time to do that. But it was a great thing to watch them bloom and find out that they do like to communicate with people eye to eye and face to face.
Yes, well, the quality of a good teacher, which you were, you didn't teach a subject, you taught students about a subject.
Yeah.
And that student was more important than the subject, and it showed the way you taught your class.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank
My
you.
My daughter enjoyed your class. It was one of her favorites.
I enjoyed having her too. It's good.
So
I'd like to thank everybody too. It's been a great ride. I never in a million years thought I would come back into teaching after being away for so long, but once I was a full-time long-term sub here.
We stole you right away.
Well, I know, but it was like when I had to interview for the job, and I had all these young teachers with their little mini skirts on. Oh my gosh, I don't stand a chance. And then one of my students wrote a letter.
Absolutely.
And And so I always thank Tim for that, why they should choose me, and I'm thankful for that. But once I knew I could lose it, I was like, oh my gosh, that would have been the worst thing to lose that position after being there for a year and a half. So.
Nancy, you've been here all these years and never a complaint, never anything, and you're always happy.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
And your dad will be very proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And your mom.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
I know her time's gone, but
Oh, yes. That's my one job. There's usually those beautiful Penn Trafford backgrounds.
Say her name last name again.
yeah, the sign's not down where it is.
Like instantly.
Just a reminder, I have yearbooks to be done.
Is that crazy?
Jeff, would you sign my yearbook?
I had a lot of those.
Hey, I hope you're not a stranger, even though you won't actually come on.
Carrie still wants me to come back and
Do something fun, yeah.
Are you subbing?
No. I'll probably work the football games and, he wants me to come since I ran the, boys golf, district individuals. The girls are this year and he wants me to come back and help with that, so I'll be doing something. Thank you, Rich.
I just want to comment that my son graduated from Penn State with a mechanical engineering career. My other son went to St. Vincent.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You made good choices.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Nobody-
guys.
Nobody's ever came back to us and said they finished it off in one evening, so have at it.
Be the first.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, enjoy.
Bye.
That's all I have for information. Then for next week, under athletics and extracurricular, we're gonna ask you to approve the athletic trainer and physician service agreements, as well as terminate athletic trainer and physician service agreements. Under budget and finance, we're gonna ask you to adopt a school budget, grant permission to advertise for bids, authorize payments for all the end-of-the-year invoices, name banks as depositories, authorize payments for credits earned, assign fund balance, approve compensation rates, approve equipment purchases. There won't be any items under buildings and grounds and safety or employee relations, negotiations, and transportations. Under food service, we're gonna ask you to approve the breakfast and lunch prices, approve meal prices, and under personnel curriculum, we're gonna ask you to approve the personnel agenda, approve tentative assignments, employee, school, physician, and dentist, accept and file tentative official ratings, extend supplemental contracts, authorize administration to fill vacancies, approve comprehensive service agreements, update the calendar, and finally, under public relations legislative title II, we're gonna ask you to continue roll call procedures, continue bond coverages, approve attendance at conventions, authorize administration to submit federal programs applications, approve participation in the Drug-Free Schools and Communities Act, adopt attachment A of IDEA-B program narrative, and appoint the PSBA voting delegates. And finally, under taxes, insurance, census, we're gonna ask you to set the millage rate, adopt a homestead and farmstead exclusion resolution, and adopt a tax resolution. And I'll turn it back to you for recognition of visitors, which we do not have any. Mr. Neiman.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. I'd like to call for adjournment.